Hi friends, and welcome back to the Reinvention years. Today we're going to talk about the big mistakes that women over 50 make and how to fix them. Here's the truth. Most of us were raised to believe that if we just work harder, we're going to get ahead. Everything else will fall into place. We put in the hours, built our career, had loyalty to our employer, taking care of everyone else except ourselves. And yet here we are, wondering why retirement still feels out of reach. Or if you were burned out and needed to retire for your mental and physical health, but you couldn't afford it, it makes you sick to your stomach. The biggest money mistake, we only learned how to earn, not build wealth. As women, at least in my generation, I'm the tail end of the baby boomers, we were not taught to reach for the stars. We were taught to get that MRS degree and that our husbands would take care of us. Well, that didn't work out for me. I married a man who couldn't support himself and spent more than he earned. I'm not saying I haven't made stupid money mistakes too. It doesn't help when you have a partner who is not on the same page. We learned how to trade our time for dollars. You know, we kept going and punching that time clock instead of learning how to build something for us. We are not born with an entrepreneurial spirit, but we can develop it and build on it. When I hit my late 50s, I had been divorced a long time. You know, I raised my kids on my own. It was all I could do to keep food on the table and a roof over our head. We didn't have European vacations. We didn't have any vacations. We went to visit family because I didn't have to pay for a place to stay and I had people to help me with my kids. So I don't know about you, but that wasn't how I thought my life was going to unfold. And when I divorced, I got stuck with a lot of debt. I live in a community property state. And I did my own divorce. I couldn't afford a lawyer. And the judge said, "Are you sure you want to take on this debt?" Well, no, I didn't. But I also knew my ex-husband had a history of not paying. So who do you think it stuck with? It took me 20 years to dig myself out of that, from my mid-30s to my mid-50s. So the thought of trying to build something for myself was like a concept that I could not even begin to wrap my head around. But when I got to the point that I knew I needed to retire, I didn't have a choice. I had to start thinking outside the box because I was still working a lot in public health. And I had a weekend job because I didn't make enough. Public sector pays even less than private sector, but I was so unhappy. That's what fed my soul as a nurse, right? I worked 7 days a week for 15 years to make ends meet. That's not living, that is survival. I loved helping people, but I was exhausted and forget about having a life. That didn't even factor in, right? So when I would check my retirement projections, I didn't have nearly enough. The math said I had to work to 78. Oh, if that doesn't make you want to vomit, I don't know what will. How could I have worked this hard for so long and still be uncertain about my future? It wasn't a lack of effort. It was a lack of options. And that is when I learned the difference between income and independence. I had to do some work around my mindset from just earning to creating. And this changed everything for me. I had to stop chasing overtime, working other jobs, and start building ownership. So when I was presented this opportunity about digital products, and it may not be for everybody, it's an option. And it's the option that I know and the option that I chose. When you sell a digital product, you create it once. And the program that I joined, I didn't even have to create the product. But you create it once and then you can resell it over and over because you own the master resale rights. You can learn to create your own courses or offerings, and you do it once and it just keeps selling. It's like evergreen content, right? So you're no longer paid by the hour, you're paid by the impact, and that impact can scale up. And that's what digital marketing has taught me. I'm telling you, it has taught me so much, and As I sit here recording this video, I think, oh golly, man, I got to edit it, because editing is not easy for me, but I am determined to learn these skills, and I hope that you will see improvement as you go through my videos, that I am learning. An old dog can learn new tricks. You just have to be willing to put in the effort. So I'm not replacing my identity, I'm expanding it. I'm not just a nurse, I'm a business owner. I'm a content creator now. So if you've ever thought, I wish I could start something, but I don't know where to start, I promise you can do this. This is what we teach inside my program, step by step by step. And if you want to see it in action, then go to the link in the description and grab my free blueprint. There are a couple of short videos that walk you through the process. It can explain it a whole lot better than I ever could. The second mindset shift I had to work on was redefining what is enough. Another mistake we make as women is believing financial freedom looks a certain way. The number, money in the bank, a pension. But freedom is personal. For me, it was retiring early at 62. For others, it's having a more flexible income stream so they can travel or spoil your grandkids without guilt. Define what enough means for you. Not society, not your boss, not your bank account. So if you want to see what freedom looks like to me, go to that link and grab that blueprint. It turned my uncertainty into confidence. I could retire and be okay. The third mindset shift is it's never too late to start building. Here's the most beautiful part. You are not behind. You are seasoned. You have experience, empathy, and endurance the online world desperately needs. The internet doesn't care about your age. It rewards your wisdom, your story, your consistency. So instead of saying it's too late for me, ask, what do I want to build that will outlive me? What is your legacy going to be? Because legacy isn't about money, it's about meaning. What do you want to be remembered for? Me, I want to be remembered for somebody who wasn't too scared to try something new. Being able to leave something for my kids that will continue to give them passive income, right? That's what it means to me. If this spoke to you, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode of the Reinvention Years. We're going to talk about the day I stopped asking permission to live my life. Remember, it is never too late to start building a life you love. I'm Cindy, and your reinvention starts now.